So we're live with Julian Austin. Julian, you decided that you would take a little time here. We're a couple days away from you coming to Nanton, and maybe talk a little bit about who you are, kind of what you've been doing, and I know that you've got a lot of accolades here. You got like gold record. You got Juno nominations. You know East Coast Country Music of the Year award or something like that. So why don't you tell us about that? Kind of what your history is.
And I'm a great bunch of guys once you get to know me, David.
That's good. Good. That's good to know too. Everybody's going to want to know that. So yeah, tell us about your history.
I grew up in classic rock, the late '70s. 80s rock, pop, '80s metal. Everybody pretty much knows my background in the music. And then in the '90s, I couldn't relate with grunge. And then I really fell in love with the new country, as it was called then in the '90s, and it really hit a chord with my soul and
so to speak.
With musically. So, anyways, I started to follow country music in the '90s and play it, and then on the next thing you know, I got a record deal with BMG Music Canada, '96, '97. I started my first major cross Canada tour, 43 shows in 47 days with Michelle Wright. And along that tour in '97, my first single that I wrote and released went #1 on country music television and Canadian country radio. And the following year, my first album, What My Heart Already Knows, went gold in a matter of months. And then, and because of the music back then and everything, there was a lot of nominations and there were some awards won. And I got a chance to, play with some of the, my idols of the country music world at that time, and Brooks and Dunn, and and I got to sing with George Jones in Lulu's, the old Lulu's in Kitchener area. Do a couple of shows with him, and that was quite the honor. And later on, that was all great and that was fun, and I created a great fan base with the awesome fans here in Canada. And then later on, my music took me to places like Bosnia and Afghanistan, Southwest Asia. Every Canadian Forces base in Canada, I probably played at least twice, maybe 3 times, even up to CFS Alert, which is 700 kilometers away from the North Pole to the tip of Ellesmere Island. And I did Snow Angels up there with the troops. And that was fun.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, so and especially with other fellow Canadian artists and comedians and dancers, we had a chance to go over. I had a chance to go over to Afghanistan several times, and especially when we were involved in such a major and important, horrible conflict.
Yeah.
Not just our country, but all the NATO countries. But to go over there and be able to play for the, those wearing the uniform of all countries, and especially bring a little piece of Canada over there to our serving men and women that were over there. That was the biggest accolades of my life. No award, no #1s, could ever compare to those days for me. Like I felt that I've arrived, musically, to be able to do something like that. It was a great honor, and I jump at the bit at the opportunity anytime I can to still do anything for, our serving members and veterans.
Well, I guess that's a great segue then into what you're going to be doing in Nanton here, because this Friday, November 11th, you're going to be here. We're going to be live streaming the Remembrance Day ceremony over at the Cenotaph, and then after that, people are invited to go over to the Wagon Wheel Pub, where you're going to be there, and you've got some stuff going on, and you're going to be raising some money for a purpose and a cause. So why don't you tell us about that and kind of how this all came together?
Yeah, it's just some of my awesome buddies, and great friends, dear friends. Gordo, he's going to be the Gord Maidman. He's ex-airborne and sniper, and with the Royal Canadian Regiment, and then of course the PPCLI, Patricia's, and so I'm an honorary hangaround, as they call it, for the NAM Knights, and the NAM Knights Northern Knights chapter is here in Canada, and it's consists of law enforcement, serving military members, veterans, and we rode down there this summer. They asked me to go on one of their rides, and we did. We ended up in Nanton, and we were looking for beers to drink, and nothing was open yet. So we hung out in front of Wayne's place, Wagon Wheel, and all of a sudden he comes and he said, "Hey, you open?" He said, "Yeah, I am now." So we all went in and had bites, food and laughs and drinks, and then we find out that Wayne was a veteran, or is a veteran as well. So the boys and girls were really ecstatic to hear that, and then we get talking. Then he found out who I was, and of course he's a big fan of my music from the day and what I do for the troops as well. And so the boys just started putting an idea together. Hey, we should come back here and possibly do a Remembrance Day weekend. Gordon made it happen. So Gordon was talking with Wayne. So it's gonna be a big, huge concert. But I mean, I'm gonna be down there singing some songs, and I want to spend Remembrance Day in Nanton with my unsung heroes family, and get to see Wayne again, and hang out with the people of Nanton, and just have a great time. And I'm not going to say there's not going to be a little bit of debauchery and mayhem, taking place, and a few beverages being pounded back.
Well, that's great. Well, I just wanted to take a minute to come on and make sure that Nanton knows that you're going to be here, and that you will be possibly, wink, wink, breaking out the guitar and singing a few songs.
Wink, wink,
yeah, that's right. So if anybody wants to witness some of this debauchery you're talking about, then they can go down on Friday. 1:00 is when it happens, and we're selling tickets right now. So, Julian, I want to thank you very much for coming on and kind of sharing this moment with me and talking about kind of your history and your ties to the veterans and your support for them. So now one thing, you were talking about NAM. So I understand that. I just want to finish off with this, that Wayne is actually going to be doing a 50-50, and all the proceeds are going to be going to that cause. So it's the food bank, the
Veterans Food Bank of Calgary is who
Food Bank of Calgary. Yeah.
Yes. Who I'm involved with, and with Alan Reed, and also he's one of the co-owners and founders with Ray McKay of the Hagen, Alberta Veterans Ranch up in Caroline, which I'm also involved with. So so the money's raised Friday, with the 50-50s. That will definitely be going to help further the the needed things at the Veterans Food Bank of Calgary, which is an awesome food bank too. Very awesome. Very good. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Julian, for your time, and we look forward to seeing you on Friday, November 11th, 1:00 over at the Wagon Wheel Pub.
Okay, we got to get a selfie together. We got to get a couple pics.
We're gonna get a selfie on here together. No, we'll do it there, right? No,
that's what I mean. Yeah, we'll see
but you know what? I think after you mentioned that, I'm gonna do a selfie here too. So hold on. Let's do. We're doing a selfie on the computer. Look at this. So okay. Hold on 1 second. You ready? Ready to pose?
Okay.
You ready to pose? Okay, and pose. Here we go. We got a selfie on here as well. Okay, we'll do it there on Friday too. Okay.
I look forward to meeting you, David, and hanging out with you. And thank you so very, very, very much for giving us the time to
yeah, no problem at all. Thank you for your time.
You're a good man. There's a place in Valhalla for you.
Thank you. Okay, have a good day, sir.
You too, David.
See you Friday.